What an amazing night we've had. This is such a great event that demonstrates the incredible skill and professionalism of every member of our union. You okay back there? We're gonna have to order another award. This event is so special because it highlights how vital our work is in every day in maintaining the safety of the national airspace system. It highlights what is rarely covered in the news, the amazing skill and the abilities of our members in times of crisis. It shows that all the hours of training that we dedicate ourselves each year, they help to save lives. So join me in offering another round of applause to all the controllers and Region X members honored tonight. Archie League Medal Safety Award winners and Region X Commitment to Safety Award winners are selected from nominations that we get from you, NATCA members, who want to give recognition to the good work of our union brothers and sisters. This is the 19th year of the Archie League Awards. It has become a tradition over the past 2 decades for NATCA president to select one save that was particularly noteworthy to receive the additional honor of the President's Award. This is never an easy task. Every winner this evening exercised the tremendous skill and knowledge that comes with a career dedicated to training. Please roll the compilation video.
Skip pilot, can't see.
Just watching your instruments, feeling all right?
I'm just watching my instruments, listening to you, 3-1 Yankee.
Keep the climb going, you're gonna be all right.
3-1 Yankee, glad you're on the ground.
Awesome, so glad to hear it. Envoy 3338, runway 13 right, on a point, traffic line's on the cross runway.
On the way, 13 right.
Envoy 3338, stop. Southwest, go around.
Going around, southwest 4683.
Alaska 946, wait for takeoff.
16 left, clear for takeoff.
Alaska 946, cancel takeoff plan.
946, cancel takeoff.
And fire engine on Bravo, stop.
Can we get the nature of emergency?
We just got a compressor stalled in our engine. Could we have fire services in attendance, please?
I'll roger that.
Shamrock 13 Juliet, heavy 186, clear to land.
We are all good.
Just curious if you were hearing the radio calls for you for like the last 5-10 minutes.
Negative, we had a total comms failure. We're navigating on Google Earth right now.
I'll get you as low as I can, and then you can visually see the airport. You want to try that?
Affirmative.
Contact Indy Center now on tree 0.05. You've got your oxygen mask, put that on. Sounds like you've got hypoxia there. Okay, good news, sir.
Sterling 512, turn right heading up 290.
What's heading you on as well?
290 now.
Turning 290.
American 3, traffic at your 12 o'clock, you have in sight.
Traffic inside American 3. Something is maybe wrong with the engine.
It does appear that you are over I-35 at this time.
If I see that the engine is about to blow up, I will try to land on the interstate.
I-35 is off your right, and that will take you right to Cameron Airport.
Okay, I see the airport.
For the President's Award, I'm going to ask for 2 members to help me with this. The first one is a tenacious advocate for NATCA. He's a friend. He's the Southern Region ARVP, and soon I'm proud to announce that he's going to be appointed as the Southern Region RVP. Dan McCabe, would you please come up? And with Dan, I'd like to acknowledge a friend, a champion for NATCA. I believe, and I was thinking about this back there, at every event I've ever been at, I think he's been there. He's a good friend. He is NATCA, and he's retiring in December. So I'd like to ask Jim Marinetti if you'd like to come up and present the final President's Award for NATCA. just read exactly what it says. It's in first person.
Thank you, Rich.
Hold on a minute. Did you change the page? Okay. And it's good enough font, right?
I'm not going to riff. Just doing right as I was told. Crisis response becomes second nature. However, for 2023, the Save President Santa has selected for this additional award not only met this criteria, but this was an example of the seamless coordination of two separate controllers at different facilities. The Southern Region Archie League Medal of Safety Award winners, Bobby Morgan and Chip Flores, demonstrated incredible skill and calm under pressure. Because of their combined efforts, lives were saved in the air and on the ground. I broke down Bobby Morgan and Chip Flores' amazing save earlier. However, our friends at AOPA put together this great video on the save.
Roll the video.
Well, it was a normal, routine flight. Climbed up to 12,000 feet. Nice, beautiful day. Everything was going well. And then all of a sudden, I felt this really sharp pain in the right side of my head. And when that happened, it just felt something I've never felt before. So I told Russ and Darren, I said, guys, I don't feel good. And they said, what does that mean? I said, I don't know, but my head is killing me. The next thing I know, I remember Darren and Russ tapping me on the shoulder, saying, stay with us, Ken. And then that was it.
Triple three, Lima Delta. Come in.
Airband 333, Lima Delta, Fort Pierce Tower.
I've got a serious situation here. My pilot has gone incoherent. I have no idea how to fly the airplane, but I'm in 9100.
Well, before I even got involved with it, the plane went into a dive, and the passenger in the back ran up to the front, managed to pull the pilot out of the seat, took the controls, pulled it out of the dive. Now they were heading a direction away from where they were originally going, which was to my airport. And about 10 minutes had passed since the airplane went in the dive, and that's when I heard the first call. As soon as the words "serious problem" came out of his mouth, I was already reaching forward and hitting the button on the console, and I put it over the speaker so everybody else in the tower could hear what was going on. A couple of things went across my mind. Well, maybe since they were up near 10,000, maybe hypoxia might have been a factor. So I decided to eliminate that. I asked them to start a slow descent.
Try to hold the wings level and see if you can start descending for me. Push forward on the controls and descend at a very slow rate.
Yeah, I'm descending right now at 550 feet a minute, passing 8640.
Number 33, Lima Delta, roger, and continue the descent and try to level off at 5,000 feet.
10-4, what heading do I need to be at? Give me a compass heading, because I have no controls. All my electronics went when we went in the roll.
November 3, Lima Delta, maintain wings level and just try to follow the coast, either north or southbound. We're trying to locate you.
The person working the ground traffic next to me got on the line, started talking to Palm Beach, asking if they knew who this was, where he was at. And my supervisor in the back also started making phone calls. I'm getting bits and pieces of information as the situation's continuing, and then I started trying to get his phone number so that we could call him, or somebody could call him, or give him a cell phone number where he could get in touch with somebody that could help him. At a certain point in there, the Palm Beach controllers managed to key in the Fort Pierce frequency into one of their emergency radios, and Bobby was already talking to him and guiding him to the Palm Beach airport from there.
So I get a page, I take the shortest route I can, and I head immediately to the radar room. I walk in, I'm meted by my supervisor, and he says, this is the situation. We're picking you because you're a pilot, you're current, you're a CFI. We just want you to help them get to any airport to land safely. So I'm thinking, oh man, like why me? You know, how did I get selected for this? You know, should I really pick this shift? But just these thoughts are going through my head real quick. And I was like, okay. So I sit down and I said, can you hear me? And he said, yeah, I got you loud and clear. I said, okay. So as this is all going on and I'm talking to him, my supervisor, he had the manager print out the instrument panel, but it was a steam gauge. So after we got the story of what kind of instruments he had, we had another diagram to look at, but it was also the glass cockpit. So I'm using these two diagrams, trying to figure out what he's looking at and how can I help him. So I'm just trying to keep him, you know, comfortable, keep talking to him. What I want you to do is start a right turn. He had pretty good control of turning the plane. I just was afraid to turn him more because of what could happen, what could go wrong when you turn. So I got him on a good northbound heading. I told him, I want you to start descending, just a slow descent. You know, I don't want you getting down too low too early. So I'm just watching his rate of descent, watching his airspeed. He starts talking, just asking different questions. Do I know how to turn on the avionics? I said, don't worry about that. So I told him the plan. I said, I'm gonna keep you a little higher and I'm gonna fly you past the airport, or have you fly past the airport. And I'm gonna point it out to you, but I'm gonna turn you out to the west and line you up for a long final. Well, while this is going on, I started talking to him about, slowing down the plane, but not too much, worried about stalls, So I just describing how to use the trim wheel, how to use the power lever, looking at my diagram, kind of doing that with my hand while I'm talking to him. And I always try to keep him comfortable just by speaking to him, avoid the dead air, that way he doesn't feel uncomfortable. And now I started to see that all these instruction I'm giving him, he's able to listen to me in this kind of a high stress environment, but he's actually working. Everything I'm saying, he's listening to, he's not shutting down. So I was really confident. It's like, we're gonna get him close. I just don't know how the landing is gonna go. Every mile that he went, it's like, go ahead and start a descent, just pull some power out, push the nose down. I said, you're a 5-mile final, you're 1,500 feet, you're a 4-mile final, you're 1,000 feet, you're a 3-mile final, you're 800 feet. I just kept talking to him all the way down. I said, your speed's a little fast, you wanna pull a little bit power back. And the only other thing I did was I said, as you get closer, the runway's gonna look very narrow, but as you get in closer, it's gonna get wide. And as it gets very wide, that's when you're gonna wanna kind of pull your power back and kind of transition into landing. I kind of talked him into what would be a flare, what I could describe as a flare to him. This was all done from the radar room with no windows, pretty much just talking him to the radio and probably just him doing the best job he could do just to picture what the landing would be. With radar, as you get in really close, usually our target drops. So I wasn't even thinking about the target dropping. I was just like talking to him from the radar this whole time, and all of a sudden the target drops at 300 feet. And I was like, oh, my heart dropped because I thought he was gone. And for like 2 seconds, I'm just like, uh-oh. And then I said, are you there? He's like, I'm still here. I said, all right. Just remember, the runway's gonna get wide, and when it gets wide, that's when you need to start flaring and pull your power. So he gets on the runway, and he says, I'm on the runway, what do I do? I said, all right, just put your feet to the top of the pedals and apply pressure. So he gets it stopped, and he said, how do I shut this thing down? I was like, you know what? I do not know how to shut this down. So I just say, look to my supervisor who's standing right behind me, who flew the Hurricane Hunter. I was like, hey, how does he shut it down? He just said, pull all the levers back. So I said, hey, just pull all the levers back. That was the end. They had, cut the radios, boarded the plane. Other than that, they came over to the one guy came over to the tower, Darren, who was the passenger who landed the plane, just to meet us. We hugged it out, took him for a quick tour, and that was the story that day.
I was shocked, really shocked, just to be alive. Twice. It's hard to put into words my gratitude to the outcome that happened, and for him to remain calm and to be able to safely and calmly and in layman's words talk Darren and Russ down to the ground is just simply amazing. I mean, I owe my life to those two as well as everybody else in the facility that was giving them some support that day. I owe my life to them.
That is what we do. I am pleased that we can give the save and the controllers involved the additional recognition that it and they deserve. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming back to the stage to receive the President's Award, Bobby Morgan from Palm Beach and Chip Flores from Fort Pierce.
To say thank you for everything. Chip, great job. I hope I never have to do that again.
Man, I don't know what else I can say, but thank you very much. Thank you, Rich, for this honor. And this was all a learning experience for me. There's probably about 20 other things I could have done more to be more helpful for that. Never stop honing your craft. Thank you.
I will just leave you with a few parting words. Be safe going home under the watchful eye of our air traffic controllers. You know you're in good hands. Be kind every day, and have a great evening tonight. And that concludes 2023 Archie League Medal of Safety Awards. Thank you.